So you like to ride motorcycles? So do I! But guess what? This one thing makes motorcycling a hell of a lot more interesting. Find out in this video. Hey there everyone, Scott from Scott's Moto Adventures, and I'm a dedicated motorcyclist. You know, I've gone to rallies, joined clubs, you know, try to ride as much as I can. I'm not just a weekend warrior, but I do want to talk about what I do to help make it more interesting. And that is gamifying motorcycle riding. What is gamifying motorcycle riding? I'll tell you what gamifying motorcycle riding isn't. It's not going to a campsite with your Steam Deck that you paid with Flying Eyes money. No. It's adding an extra layer of fun to your motorcycle riding, giving you a little bit more purpose to ride. And some of it can be structured and some of it can be your own kind of game. So let's go through some of the things that you can do. First off, I'm going to talk about the things that I do. And the first thing I do is grand tours. And what's a grand tour? A grand tour is something like the BMW Coddiwomple, where, you know, they like to tie it to the rally itself. Like this year we were down in Tennessee, so they had barbecue. They have a lot of Nashville related stuff this year, which, hey, that was great. That got me to go to Nashville. I actually got to go to a real honky-tonk. Anyway, so you have that. Then you have other co-organizations like the Great Lakes Motorcycle Club. They ended up, they do a grand tour where like you go to different places. I don't know. I wasn't really that interested this year. It was like go to abandoned restaurants. I'm like, I'm not interested. But like last year, the algorithm from Facebook blessed me, and I am very grateful that it actually worked out. They ended up telling me about Team Strange, and Team Strange had a really cool grand tour, and that was go to racetracks. So last year, I was going all over God's green earth to different racetracks. You know, I got two at Watkins Glen. There's a video about that. I went up, actually, Pocono was the same day. When I went up to Erie, I went to like I went to a lot of racetracks that day. You know, when I went out, I've gone out to Hershey and hit up some racetracks there. That grand tour has ended, but I still go to racetracks to this day. This year, I ended up going to Nashville. I ended up by the Nashville Super Speedway and the Nashville Fairgrounds, both tracks that are on iRacing that I actually like. And that's the other thing. And let's actually take that iRacing. Let's bring up iRacing. So that's a video game, right? Now, that video game does have certs. And what's a cert? Certification, like a little extra award. I actually play for certs because I suck as a race car driver. And can I win a race sometimes? Yeah. Can I be on pole sometimes? Yeah. Is it common? No. But anyway, I just was like, you know, you can get certs for motorcycle riding. And one way, and this is a different way to gamify your riding, is you could, now those grand tours, I get certs and stuff too, like, hey, you're a finisher and stuff like that. But if you want certs, go to the IBA, go to the Iron Butt Association, but you got to put the miles down. And I'm not talking about, you know, 1,000 miles in 24 hours. Yeah, you get a cert for that. I'm very proud of that cert. I want to get more actually, but there's things that make people nervous. So that's all I got to say about that. But, you know, let's say you have a road glide. You can get a shark nose IBA cert. You want to go do donuts. You know, you want to go to different donut shops. There's a donut shop. There's an ice cream shop. There are other certs that you don't need to do, you know, 1,500 miles in 24 hours or 15 and 36. No, those are the bun burners. No, they have also made certs that are meant for, you know, it's basically scavenger hunting kind of, in the sense that you go and there's a thing you have to pick up, like there's a national parks one There is a press penny one. Those are the two that stick out. And the press penny one, I think you got to get 100 press pennies in 20 states, and 5 of those states have to be west of the Mississippi or east of the Mississippi, depending on where you are. You have to go on both sides. You have to cross the Mississippi River. So I was like, okay, that's actually kind of neat. I've actually considered doing that one, but that's a little hard. And I know next year I really don't have the time off to go halfway across the country. So, and then the national park one, I think you actually have to get you have to see, there's something about oceans. There was one that had something about oceans. Lighthouses. You have to get lighthouses on both sides of the country. I think you have to go to like 60 or 100 lighthouses within a year, but you have to go on both sides, and Great Lakes and Gulf Coast do not count. So, just, those are some interesting that's a way to get you out and get you riding. And then you get some nice certs, which is kind of cool. And the IBA is a very respected organization. You can do more. You can do 48 states in 48 days. There's like a bunch of other rides you can do with that group. So that one's pretty good. That's another way you can... so the IBA is a great way to get certs. I mean, you can do 1K in a day, but they're not as expansive. Hey, look, a lighthouse. I was just talking about one. I don't know if they would count that. It's a lighthouse to me. It actually has it does have a Fresnel lens in it. So yeah, there's that. And then the other thing I want to talk about is you can do geocaching. Now, I don't do geocaching. That's not something I do, but you get onto the app or the website, links will be above, and you can find little doodads anywhere. That's another thing that I've seen motorcyclists do. Now, you can create your own scavenger hunts. You can create your own, riding criteria. So you can create your own rides, you can create your own games. Like I said, with the Team Strange Grand Tour from last year, I love going to racetracks. I know where there's plenty of racetracks. And one of the things I do is when I'm visiting another area, I will go to a racetrack. Even though I'm not doing a grand tour, I'll take a picture and just save it to my memories. And then probably put it on my Facebook. But that is what I do to help keep things going along. Some people ride to food, and that's great and all. And I don't like to ride to food. That's not my thing. I know my club says they're not, but they do sometimes. They do get a little ride to food heavy. But that's another thing. Hey, I want to go check out this barbecue place today. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, go do that. So that's something I do to keep me going to racetracks. I also like theaters because none of my grand tours have been doing theater work. Drive-in theaters, old theaters in town, old places that I used to work. So to me, going to theaters is really important. And, it's just something that keeps me going. And sometimes you just want to have an extra layer of fun. Sometimes sometimes I go out and ride without cameras, just go for a ride. Sometimes I go out riding to make a video like today. Sometimes I go out riding just to go see the sights. And great example, going to those racetracks and theaters is one of those things. Going to do the Coddiwomple and visiting Nashville is one of the things. I got even though I screwed up my points out there, I didn't follow the basic directions. They had some directions. I did not do that, and I didn't get as many points as I should have, but that's on me, not them. When you're doing the big competitions, like, the Iron Butt Rally, you gotta follow directions. Or when you're doing a smaller rally, like Lobo, and that's something that I gamify, competitions. I like the smaller ones because I don't like to be, my wife doesn't want me not home. She wants me home. She would like me home, within, at night. I get that, that's fair. So I do the Loco rallies, and I think they were forget. Yeah, the first one's 12 hours, the second one's 10 hours, and the third one is 8 hours. So, you know, they're small rallies. They're not like but hey, you could go do the LDX. You could do, you know, I think there's something in Georgia. I forget what the name of that is, but that's something else you can do to compete. The competition, and this goes with the Grand Tours too. You do have some competition, and you'll always have your tryhards who will suck the fun out of a room the second they walk in, when all they want to talk about is getting points on this game that really doesn't get you anything. Maybe an entry to a raffle. Still have yet to win a Coddiwomple raffle. Same people who win it keep winning it though. Go figure. But yeah, the whole thing about that is you always have the tryhards, and psychologically it's like, oh man, how do I deal with them? And it's like, you know what? Just let them run their own race. If they're going to win, they're going to win. You got your own race to run. Just let it go. Like, you're not going to win. You have a job. You have a life. So you know, unfortunately, they're just going to take names and kick ass. They have free time. You don't. I still got a month for the Coddiwomple. I still have a month and a half for the Shakespeare thing. I'm going to take the bike down after, and I've got one more rally, the zombie rally with Wolf over at Loco. So that is how I'm going to enjoy the last couple of weeks of the riding season. Then this is going down for a clutch job. So guys, I hope you enjoyed me explaining what gamifying motorcycle riding is. At least it is what it is to me. If you did like this video, or if you did find it informative, please like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I gotta get back to having more fun on the bike and explaining things. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.